Unlike the modern-day setting of Ka'anapali, Lahaina is a charming seaside town with a rich and colorful past. Join us as we talk story with some of Lahaina's kama'aina and learn more about this salty seaport's rich history. Once the capital of the Hawaiian kingdom, Lahaina quickly became a popular stop for whalers. By the mid-1800s, Lahaina was the center of the whaling world, and it wasn't unusual to see as many as 400 ships anchored offshore. During this time, Lahaina was also a haven for missionaries from New England, who came to convert the revelers and settle this small, rebellious town. Today, Lahaina is a reflection of its colorful past, and one of the most interesting things to do is explore its history on a walking tour. The Lahaina Restoration Foundation publishes a guide that'll get you started. One of the historical landmarks you'll find in the guide is the old Lahaina Courthouse. The courthouse was built in 1859 from the remains of King Kamehameha III's palace after it was destroyed by a windstorm. Originally called the Customs and Courthouse, the building contained a customs house, a courtroom with chambers, government offices, and a post office. Today, the Lahaina Courthouse serves as a visitor's center, art gallery, and a museum. One treasure found in the courthouse is a Hawaiian flag that was lowered and replaced by the Stars and Stripes in 1898, marking the annexation of the islands by the United States. Arthur Wall Sr., the assistant postmaster at the time, was ordered to lower this Hawaiian flag. Wall later became the first official postmaster of Lahaina, a position he held for almost 18 years. An amateur historian, Wall not only kept the flag, he documented many of Lahaina's historic events.
His son, Arthur Wall Jr., who resides in San Francisco, came to Maui a few years ago to arrange the return of these historic items to the Hawaiian community.
Former director of the Lahaina Restoration Foundation, Theo Morrison, shares the story of how she met Arthur Wall Jr. and returned the flag to the Hawaiian community.
I met the Wall family about 4 years ago. Arthur Wall Jr. walked into my office. He told me his dad was the first postmaster of Lahaina, and he asked me if I'd do a display on his dad. And he was showing me all the different files to prove to me that his dad was actually the postmaster. So I said, absolutely, I'd be happy to do that. Well, I'll just come by your house, and then you can show me all the other things you have. They have a big, big house in San Francisco. So we spent the whole afternoon going through all these different pictures, and toward the end of that day, they said, oh, and by the way, we do have this flag. And so they brought down the flag, which had been in their attic, and they showed me the flag, which is the flag you see here on the wall. And it, as far as I know, is the only flag left from the monarchy.
On September 21st, 2002, in a poignant ceremony, the Wall family returned the Hawaiian flag to the community. Today, the flag is on permanent display at the old Lahaina Courthouse. Just outside the courthouse, you'll find the famous banyan tree, planted in April 1873 to mark the 50th anniversary of missionary work in Lahaina. At that time, the banyan tree was only 8 feet tall. Today, it is the largest banyan tree in the United States at more than 60 feet tall and over 200 feet wide.
Kyoki Freeland, former executive director of the Lahaina Restoration Foundation, shares a story about growing up next to this amazing landmark.
We used to play tag on the tree itself, and part of the rules that we had was if you touched the ground, you were out. So it was a real skill to try and get away from the guy that was trying to tag you, especially when you ran out of branch and you'd try to get over to the far branch, and sometimes we had to swing on the roots or literally jump. But yeah, we were pretty good at those days because we used to do it all the time. Today we discourage people from climbing or swinging on a tree because there's a lot more people around town. And it'll put a real strain on the tree, and of course this tree, we don't want to see it, be harmed.
Stay tuned for more of Lahaina's historical sites, coming up later in the program.